Cause he wanna life, yeah, life's I've been with me and back to the sea. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, life's I've been with midnight through the sea. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, flashing on these high beams, she won't stand beside me, even if I'm blinded.
Wait. My bad, guys. Let me get it together. Hold. Let me take the banner off. All right, cool. What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Your boy DMV back with another one. Man, look, I'm trying to go live. People always calling me and messing with me. I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Doing a show. All right, put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Because, look, bro, my phone is always busy, man. I swear. So what I wanted to do today, right? I started listening to let me know if y'all can hear me. Put ones in the chat if y'all can hear me now. Hopefully we're good to go. I don't know why it always does this. I don't know why. Let me know. Put some ones in the chat, some fire emojis or whatever, man. Because look, every time I get to going, this microphone does that. It's a very good microphone, but it's like sometimes with how it's set up, like if I leave it for a long time, then it kind of times out early on, but then we don't have the issues later on. So I think I was in the middle of saying what's up to everybody. JVB boy wanted me to have the hat. You know, like if I hear something good, I'll let you know. Roy, what's going on, Roy? Marcus, salute to you. Salute. Louise, lead commander. Look, I also said this year too. I talked to Rio. If you guys don't know who Rio Robinson is, you guys are doing a disservice as an opponent. You know what I'm saying? You're doing yourself a disservice. He covers the Commanders. I said that, you know, I'm going to do some Commanders coverage this year too, kind of from a hate standpoint. You know, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm here. I'm in the DMV, and that's all I see. So I'm going to do some stuff there too so that we can keep our eyes on the enemy a little bit. Y'all let me know how that is. But what I'm going to do, we're going to play Schotty saying some stuff, and we're going to react to it, all right? I'm going to react to it live. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear that too on your end.
Yeah, he got hit on the elbow. I think.
Let me know if y'all can hear Schotty.
Seems like initial tests are that he'll be okay. A little bit of a bruise. We'll get some more tests, but preseason football, it's like, hey,
he's talking about Joe Milton right now.
Hats off to Will. I mean, did a hell of a job, and but I think Joe's gonna be okay.
Will Greer did do a good job yesterday. He definitely did.
Yeah, it's definitely not a storybook beginning. That's for sure. We just struggled and. I think it was 25 plays to 6 or something at one point. And
let me stop it right there. Yeah, 25 plays to 6. And that right there and myself, that was part of us being able to control the things that we could control. So when you are calling the preseason game plan, you're trying to get in and out. You're trying to get, to where you're not getting your guys hurt up too bad and control things. And I think the Rams did a very good job of that. I think that we went out guns a-blazing. And the reason that we only had 6 plays, that had something to do with some of the play calling. I won't just allow Joe Milton to take all of the heat here, because at a certain point, when you got a young quarterback out there At what point do you kind of hand the ball off and allow somebody else to take some of that stress off your young quarterback who's pressing early, obviously. So we'll continue to listen.
Start, they converted some fourth downs, and they controlled the ball. We had the 3 and outs. I think Joe was throwing some fastballs out there early, and I'm proud of our guys the way they settled down, but certainly not the right way to start the game. And that's what you do in preseason, man. You learn from it. And I told the guys, hey, we competed hard, but we got to clean some stuff up. We can't have the penalties, 11 penalties or whatever that was. And at the end of the day, it's like,
I promise I'm gonna let it roll a little bit, but John Jones said some stuff like this, right? You had people talking about Joe Milton was going to take Dak's job. You know what I'm saying? And my issue with this is I don't think that Schotty did him any favors. It was almost like he called plays to prove that he wasn't Dak. It was almost like they purposely started this game the way that they did with the play calling to prove that he wasn't Dak. When in actuality, Dak's job is not on the line here. But the running back room, their jobs are on the line. I felt like the game plan should have reflected that a little bit more. You had Deuce and you had Maffa, and those guys should have had early opportunities, for you to figure out and evaluate those guys. With Miles Sanders sitting out without Javonte Davis, Javonte Williams, not Davis. Sorry, not Tank. And then with Blue out, you had an opportunity to really evaluate Deuce and Maffa early in a situation where you're starting the game and you're trying to set the tone with the team that you said is going to be physical. So, Dak's job is not on the line here. Do I like having Milton here? Do I think that he's made some plays in preseason? Yes, he has. But it was almost like they were trying to prove that point when in actuality we have a running back room with question marks. So, thank you for saying this comment, John. And so let's go.
We put ourselves in a chance in the
promise I'm not reaching.
Make a run.
The play calling wasn't good early.
Gain the momentum. When we scored, we kind of gave up a touchdown, and we got to play better complementary football.
DLS Cowboys. Just talk about your first time out. I know it's not the real game. It's preseason, still your first time head coach. Jerry said some stuff on the radio about it. You guys shared a moment.
Yeah, we did. I got a little bit choked up coming to the stadium, and then when Jerry and I talked a little bit, I'll be honest, I got a little emotional. It's been a dream of mine to be in this chair, and he and I were just talking about our journeys, and we were telling some stories. And he's obviously been in a long time. I've been in a long time. It was just the two of us, and I'm very appreciative of him and the Jones family for having me in this chair. And like I've told you guys from the beginning, no one's going to work harder than me, and we're going to go look at this film and try to clean it up. And I think we've got some good film to look at from an evaluation standpoint. Yep. But at the end of the day, I'll remember this day for a long time. It's not the result that we wanted. But first time out there as a head coach, it felt pretty cool.
And you know what? Maybe that's what it was. Him being the first time head coach, it's not just calling plays. It's not just setting up the offense, but it's managing the game. Maybe that's why we went out there the first couple of plays and it just seemed like we weren't doing too much. Like, as far as it just seemed like no rhyme or reason. So this is the first time for him. It's also Clay Adams' first time running the offense by himself as well. So we also have to remember we're taking the lumps there as well. We got a $5 super chat. Sighton Trop says this team will never be physical as long as Jerry is the GM. That old hag is a stage 3 cancer. It must have been an old hag. That old hag is a stage 3 cancer for this team. Pathetic fan base falling for the same BS. I kind of agree. I kind of agree with this as far as like guys sitting. I do think that came from upstairs, and it's kind of the same that it's been. Like I talked about Schotty being a charismatic McCarthy. Maybe I'll call him Slim McCarthy, and it looked a lot of some of the same things. So all right, let's continue listening.
It's been cleaning up things. I don't know if you need to clean up 88 on where he's supposed to stand. You talked to him about that.
Yeah. Yeah, briefly. Again, I'll speak to the whole discipline part, just like the pre-snap penalties, that penalty. We got to be better with discipline, and
Yeah, we definitely
I
have
think
to.
I hope the guy's okay. I think he's okay. The official that they ran into, but we have to be better than that. CD knows better, we know better, but the discipline on our part, we're fine with the combative
CD ass up on the
but,
sideline.
when we don't line up off sides, they warned us a couple times, and we have to do a better job, coaching and playing, and hey, move up tackles. I think Awesome got called twice, and you can't give away penalties in this league, and so we have to be better.
Brian Tosh with ESPN. The operation of things, how to being on the sideline, having food.
I like this question. Excellent question here.
Put a fresh spin on savory pork with big steakhouse vibes.
I think it went good.
Cowboys.com for putting this up.
My first challenge flag ever. That was kind of cool. They told me I threw a nice one. The reason we challenged that was it was 4th down. It was a big play. I mean, it was down inside the 10-yard line, like a 40-yard bomb. And we did think that the ball moved a little bit, and they admitted that it moved, but they did think that he maintained the catch. But I thought in that situation it was worth it just because it was 4th down. We're about to get the ball at midfield.
Now, see, Big Star says what we can't unsee is Joe Milton throwing receivers by 10 and 20 yards. That has nothing to do with play calling. It does have stuff to do with play calling, because if you see he doing that, then stop fucking throwing the ball. Excuse my French, but or get some high percentage things. Like, we had no rhyme or reason for those first 6 plays. I don't care what y'all say. Yeah, he could throw the ball 10, 20 yards or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Run the damn ball. You got Deuce. How many throws do you need to see him do that before you fucking call a run play? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want to throw Milton in the trash so bad. This was a shitty start to a play. This was a shitty start to a game. It looked like Green Bay, because Dak was doing this shit against Green Bay. He was doing this too, and we didn't hand the ball off. Guess who was on the staff? Him right here who's talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Dak doing that, y'all be wanting to protect him. Why don't we run the ball? Why didn't we do this? This is a young kid, and we need to figure out what we got to go in that running back room. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real easy to keep throwing it on these damn players. When Schotty, just like Joe, though, so I'll give him grace here. This is why I'll give him grace and I'll give Joe grace. They all running into situations where they don't know what the hell they doing. Schotty ain't managed no game and called plays, and he's sitting here telling you that. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting here telling you that. But we got to remember, bro, we see Dak come out here with starts like that too. So I'm not really ready to throw him in the trash, but I'm saying one thing that we said was going to be different that has not been different is that we said we're going to push guys around. We're going to run the football a little bit. McVay, you know that's what they're going to do, and that's what he did. He wanted to see Stetson Bennett as much as we wanted to see Joe Milton, and he did a very good job on that other side in doing so. So, I mean, yeah, you can see him miss those guys, yes. But what are you going to do to kind of counteract that? I didn't see that from him early. And I felt like we could run the ball, and it showed throughout the game, but why not run the ball early before we going down 14-0? You know what I'm saying? Went down 14-0 before we ran the ball. Looks a lot like what has been,
Field and but overall, I mean, I thought the communication was good. We played some of these situations like a real game because I needed to work those situations with my staff and decision making.
Yeah, he got to execute.
That. And then there were other ones.
Coaches got to execute play calls too. They got to execute.
We probably would have onside kicked and done things like that.
Yeah, it could be vanilla, but McVay was doing it on the other end too.
Let's play this like 4 minutes.
So don't make the excuse for
down 10 points and wanted to see us get a stop. And again, we were great. Really, I think we gave up 2 point something in the first half, run defense wise. And then the second half, we just kind of didn't.
Yeah, I got Maris, man. He looked real good.
I think it was Corum that was going off on us. But overall, I thought a lot of things to learn from, a lot of things that came up for me. But I thought the communication for the most part between myself and the staff, Falus, Nick Sorensen, was good.
One of those situations.
Yep, penalties and being soft. Same thing.
But you kick the field goal just to played out what you would in a game?
Yeah, I mean, we were struggling to move the ball. We had limited ops. I knew we were getting the ball first, to start the second
Yes,
half.
they did,
And so,
Brent. Yes, they did.
You can say let Joe throw it there, but I wanted to play a little bit more close to the vest, like a real game. And hey, let's take the points. And shoot, I felt really good about coming out in the second half, and so that's kind of why we made that decision.
My last one for you. On Joe, you talked about
He
making
did.
people play.
No lie.
trying
No
to
lie. And
find
we'll talk
down.
about that too.
The pick there in that first drive, was that a situation where don't force it, just live for another day, or how do you?
Yeah, again, 2nd and 4. He's got a check down in front of him. Ultra competitive. He's moving left, and threw it up there.
All
Now,
the quarterbacks
Flo's,
can
he's
get
trusting
better at
Flo in that
hitting that check
situation to
down
try to make a
sometimes
play.
in the
But I
situation.
think that's one of the things that when Joe watches it, he'll be like, "Yeah, I probably should have taken the check down. I got moved off the launch point." And again, that's why he needs to play. And
Yeah, I'll stop that right there. Yeah, he does. He does need to play. He does. He needs the reps. And another thing that I kind of want to point out, and shout out to everybody that's paying attention. We got 74 people in here watching. Everybody, please hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. He needs to play. But one thing is evident to me, right, that we got to talk about as a fan base, that we have to talk about as fans, that this team needs to talk about. Evidently, it looked like in the joint practice, and it looked like yesterday in the preseason game, that we were a step slow, that they were a step faster than us, that they were beating us to the point. And it looked like, and this is just everybody though. This is mostly everybody. I would say 95% of everybody that played yesterday, it looked like we were a step slow, like we were not prepared for live action. It looked like we were not prepared for live action. I said that last night. And maybe this is something we need to clean up in practice, but maybe we need to play a little bit faster. Maybe we need to simulate the games a little bit better in practice. Maybe we just need to get better and more prepared to get our guys ready for live action, because it did not look like it with the penalties, with how we executed yesterday as a whole. I think that maybe we should be executing a little bit faster at a faster tempo in practice. Now, I thought the tempo had been fast in practice. And if you look at it in practice, I keep saying in practice because we get all the clips and we get all the reports from the people that are there. And we do have to listen to those people and stuff, right? Appreciate you, Juan Cooper, for being a new member. Appreciate you. So Joe Milton didn't look like in practice and stuff that he's not tearing our defense up. And one common denominator is our secondary did not look good to start this game. You know what I'm saying? So maybe things got a little bit fast for Joe in the offensive line and the play callers and stuff like that, because we're not getting as good of a look in practice that we can be getting from the secondary standpoint. Maybe that means we go get some better players. Maybe not. Maybe we're playing the wrong players. The Rochelle kid, he was getting tore up. Andrew Booth getting tore up. You know what I'm saying? So if we're not getting so much of a resistance there, and then when we go against somebody else, it looks like the windows are a little bit closed in and stuff like that. I mean, maybe we need to practice a little bit faster or a little bit better. I don't know, but let's go.
Do think he settled down. I think he found his rhythm late, started using his legs a little bit better. And again, terrific talent that every rep he gets is going to help him become a great
Harold,
pro.
that's a good question. I'm going to get to it. I started. I held it off
with Booker
so that we can talk about that too later.
Sadiq Charles gets hurt too. Is that part of it, that you just are trying to keep the offensive line as healthy as possible?
No, I mean, again, John, it's there's 3 games.
That part,
for us.
Elijah.
And so we had a specific plan going into this game of who we wanted to play, and there'll be some more guys that play next week.
Yeah, JV.
Not going to tell you who.
We
but
need Gilly, baby.
It was more about
sign Gilly.
Just hey, this was the rotation we want to get this week, and we had a pitch count. A lot of our guys on offense had to play longer than we wanted because we only had the 6 plays, and so next week's going to look a little bit different, and you'll see some more guys playing next week because that's been part of the plan all along.
You don't need that, buddy.
I'm
gonna hold you to that.
Hopeful that we dodged a bullet.
We're gonna hold you to that, Schotty.
We'll do some more tests, but it was a physical game, and we I think we came out of it okay, hopefully, with some of the tests and stuff that we've run on most of our guys.
Our safeties didn't play, like Hooker. I know Wanye was out there and
I
Bell was
like
out
the way
there.
we battled in the
Bell
second
didn't have a
half.
great
I mean,
start
I think,
either.
we could have,
Same
not
thing we've been
come
saying
out
the whole time, JV.
and got physical, run the football. I thought Phil Moffitt
Sarge, yep.
ran really hard. I
Yep,
thought
Big
that was
Sarge.
good.
Absolutely.
I loved the
Absolutely, sir.
defense in the first half in terms of the run stoppage. We just got to get off the field on fourth
Boom.
down. I mean,
Juan, excellent
that's
comment.
the thing in preseason too. I mean, people are going to go for it. But I told the guys, I said, hey, look, they competed hard, but it's not about competing. It's about execution. And when we watch the film, we're going to see there's a lot of opportunities where we did not execute very well. And that's coaching and playing alike, not just the players.
Boom. He said it. He said it. I knew he said that before, and I actually wanted to stop right there for that. Schotty said it, and I'm glad that put this user in timeout. I should ban him. I should have banned him. But yeah, Schotty said it, and that's kind of what I was pointing out. That's what I was pointing at. Coaching and playing. Thank you, Schotty, for the accountability, sir. And that's all I can ask for. Be accountable and fix it. Be accountable and fix it as a whole. That's something that is new and refreshing there. Playing and coaching. We could execute better. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, Mozzie had a tough in there.
Pretty athletic plays.
Mozzie definitely had a tough in there.
Obviously, it's a hotly contested battle there at slot corner. How much do you factor in splash plays like that versus the whole body of work, or is it all kind of tied in?
Yeah, good question. I mean, it's the whole
guy
body
Hall
of work.
was
It was an
getting
awesome
abused
play.
out there.
I'm happy for him. He works so hard. I mean, he really does. And it was an incredible play. And, I think it was after we threw the pick.
Corner
right? I think we threw the pick, and then he got the ball back for us. But, it's going to be the entire camp. It's not just going to be preseason. It's going to be every day at practice. And, again, we'll move our depth chart around some, after this game and looking into next week, getting ready for Baltimore.
Davis, he was on the street 36 hours ago and had a great second half. What did you say about it?
Can't say enough. I mean, kudos to, Will and the scouting staff for finding him. And it was great to see him yesterday. I ran right over and gave him a big hug. His run skills are obviously incredible. And
Malik
just
had a
speaks to
good
the
day.
young man that, he's been in shape. He's been waiting. He's had a couple tryouts with people and they didn't sign him. And so we were able to get him back. But, we were a little worried going into the game with
Jerry loved him some Malik.
Running back. We obviously didn't have to play
I think that's who he was making the comments about.
Give Malik his due. He had a hell of a day.
Tony R. Cowboys.com. What are you hoping that Joe kind of takes from this experience and maybe changes come next
Good question.
I don't think that we need to throw more completions. He knows that. I think, he had his fastball out today, and there's times that you got to kind of throw a little bit of a change up. He wants the double move in the red zone back. I think that was Flo, I think, who ran it, that we missed that one right before the half.
Yeah,
and then,
you got to hit that
sailed one a little bit high, but it's all part of playing to Flo. He hit Flo, so I think it was Flo maybe on both of them, but part of staying in rhythm and part of me and Joe being on the same page, because I'm the play caller, is just executing the offense, taking things when it's not there, when you get moved off the spot, check it down. But what a great learning experience for Joe. I mean, guy hasn't played a ton of football in real situations like this where he's getting hit, and I'm not sure I loved him running the guy over on the sidelines, but I think that kind of woke him up a little bit, got him going. And, I'm still learning him as well in terms of his play style.
He's playing the game now.
Brian, rookie Trayshawn Holden came in the game late, had a big play down the right sideline. Kind of what have you seen from him?
Every day. He shows up every day, Garrett. I mean, he really does.
Sorry, I gotta stop it here, guys. Holden is making some plays, guys, and I wanted to stop it before he gets into this. So this is the part that I didn't get a chance to really listen to right here, but Jalen Tolbert had an opportunity yesterday to play. I think it shows that with Turpin sitting out and Jalen Tolbert getting reps at punt return and all that type of stuff, they're giving Jalen Tolbert every opportunity to show something. And then boom, you see Holden get in there and make some plays. You see Jonathan Mingo get wide open and Joe Milton was a little bit late. You see Flournoy making plays. And it just looks like Jalen Tolbert. The energy from him is just not there. And, unfortunately, Big Sarge, he is making the roster, but they're manufacturing it right now. Jalen Tolbert right now should be on the outside looking in. He should be on the outside looking in. They tried to throw him on the RPO. He had the screen, can't make the guy miss. He had a good punt return, but it's just like this was our leading touchdown getter last year in the receiving room. And he's a pedestrian out there, unfortunately. Pedestrian. And I feel for him, but at the same time, you get a guy like Holden. He get in there, he making plays. Flournoy making plays. Mingo, when he gets his opportunities. And then that's just not even without Pickens and CD out there. Jalen Tolbert should have been the number one guy. And it's just, your heart kind of feels for him because you know how hard he works. He's a really good guy. But, I mean, that play to Holden looked real good up that sideline. I'm telling you, like some of these young guys, some of these receivers on this roster, they're making some plays, and it's just like you gotta ask yourself, because you already know, like I don't need Tolbert to come in here and play X. I don't need him to be our red zone threat. We kind of need him to fit around what CD and Pickens are, and even Turpin. Turpin has a role with stretching the field, and it's just like, where would Jalen Tolbert, like, where is he gonna fit in? And asking those questions, man, it's getting to that point, y'all.
Every day he makes a play, and we kind of saw that they were playing some cloud to that side, some cover 2, and Joe made a beautiful throw into the whole shot. And Trayshawn's done that every day in practice, literally every day. There's been 1 or 2 big plays.
He's comfortable right now.
When you do that, you get noticed, and when you do that, you get more opportunities. And just proud of him. And again, he's a guy that's you'll see him, moving up the depth chart.
Sparkle cleans everyday messes, and it won't clean out your piggy bank.
Moving up the depth chart.
Are you ready to sell your house? I will.
All right, y'all. As you guys know, we get to the ads and stuff.
A couple of questions. First, on the defensive side of the ball. First half, obviously, you guys had some struggles, but bright spot. Came out with his hair on fire. Can you just talk about where he is in this process going into year 2?
What up, Jay Money?
I think he's been incredible this whole
time.
Got
100 people in here, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button.
Just the physical nature that he plays with. And again, another guy that you love the play style, man. And that's, he's a guy that he brings his pads, he carries his pads well. He's an excellent tackler. But I can't say enough good things about him. I mean, this guy just loves playing football. He loves what he does. He's a kind of a throwback almost as a linebacker. He really is. He's a throwback, just gritty. And I'm not surprised he played well. He's been working so hard to get to this point, and learned a lot last year, and playing with a lot of confidence right now.
On the offensive side of the ball, highly contested wide receiver battle as far as the bottom half of that depth chart. A name that's not getting.
Appreciate you, Montana 808. You're a real one. I didn't turn the membership off, bro.
He was ripping across the field. I didn't turn it off. I think he was the one that ran the double move in the red zone. It was him. Yeah. I mean, he's learning to, change up some of his releases and things like that, which you love, but strong hands and really good with the ball in his hands.
I'll check into
broke the tackle on the boundary, right? That was really cool to see. And, another one of those small school guys that their confidence, you see their confidence start to blossom when you get going. And the more they play, the more you're like, okay, I see it coming together for them. So the big thing for that battle that we talked about is going to be the special teams. And you got to have value on special teams when you're sitting in that spot. And that's why I can't wait to watch that film.
Hey, Coach. Mike here, Matthew, Cowboys City Observer. So you guys were able to get a scrimmage in there and practice in with the Rams, and then play today. With you being a first-time coach, what are some things that you can learn from, Sean McVay, someone who has been
good question.
Yeah, Sean's been great with me. Sean and I have a lot of respect for each other. We were in the same division for a while when I was in Seattle, and hold
on, I'm gonna say some stuff, because I said this earlier. McVay, they kind of knew some of the things. So them kind of whooping up on us, or them being a step ahead of us, is by design. Like, they know exactly how they want the things that they want to do. He knows how to implement those things. They have a lot more of what they're going to do, and moving from last year and the years prior to that, they kind of have those things in place. And we're still figuring things out. So them being a step ahead of us isn't so much the issue. It's that we got to get to that point. And so seeing that, in a joint practice and in a preseason game was very important, because a lot of the principles that they do are where we want to get to. So I think this is an excellent question. And I do hope that Schotty can learn from this experience and because they kept it vanilla too. And they didn't lose what it is that they wanted to do, what they wanted to see. Stetson Bennett was in the same boat as Joe Milton, technically. And with Stafford out, and they having a return to play situation for Stafford, they have to know what they're going to be in case they don't have Stafford early. So they did a good job of putting together something that's vanilla, but that Stetson Bennett can use his strengths, and they could get out of there healthy and, get some running back, some looks and stuff like that. So I thought that was important, and it's important for us to see that. So I'll let them talk.
Just we both have family members that were elite and great at what they did in the football world, in the NFL. So I think that there's just a mutual respect there. But he's he and I spoke a ton about the practices leading up to the practices, and he gave me some great advice. And leaning on him in a lot of areas, because here's a guy that he's a excellent head coach, but he's a play caller. And so just different things. Hey, how do you schedule your week, and when do you do
you have
this,
a wrench
and
you
that?
see some,
and he's been
some
so
stuff
open
going
and very, very appreciative of him, and
make sure
how he's kind of opened his
take those people out.
experience to share with me. It's much appreciated.
Anybody else? Good. Tommy? Sorry, real quick. Just I know small sample size, but Will Greer coming in late there. What did you think of what he put out?
Just what Will's done. I mean, again,
Will
I didn't know
Big
he was that fast.
Sarge.
I know
Big
when
Sarge
he broke through, I was like, okay, this will be a 2 or 3 yard gain. Next thing you know, the guy's running in the end zone. But the first couple plays he was in there, I could see him kind of still doing this thing, like oh shit, I'm not really ready. But he just knows how to play the game, and I'm really excited for him. That because again, the plan was he wasn't gonna probably play tonight, and that's the second time that's happened. Same thing with Joe, right? In the scrimmage kind of happened, and Will had to go in there, and a guy that maximizes reps like that, you couldn't be happier for him.
All right. So he talked about Will, and that was the end of that. So we'll stop sharing, and you guys have me now. So I thought that the news team did an excellent job of asking questions. They were questions that I had, especially with him preparing for the first time. And we also have to remember there are going to be some lumps when it comes to that. There's going to be some lumps with him managing the game and also calling a game. Anybody that has been a head coach that calls plays can probably tell you that. There's a difference between being in the booth, being on the sideline, you have to stay engaged on both sides. You got to throw the challenge flag when you need to, but at the same time, you need to make sure that your offense is getting the type of adjustments and things that you need. So I hope that Schotty uses all of these preseason games to really get the nooks and crannies and all of that stuff, fixed and stuff like that. So yeah, I added a couple of wrenches out there, man. So hey, I got some shooters now. It is what it is. So Harold Edwards asked a good question, and I wanted to hold this question until the end. Hold on. Wait. Somebody asked for the hat. All right, we're gonna bring the hat out for the folks, man. We're gonna bring the hat out for the folks. Y'all like the hats? Y'all like the hat, so we're gonna bring out the hat. All right, what do you think about rookie Tuia? He played well. He should have gotten more reps. I love the way that he gets off the ball. He probably will get some reps. And what Schotty said in his presser is that, you guys see that right there. Make sure that whenever you see that the HD stuff and all that type of stuff, like ban them and delete the comments and stuff like that. So Tuia, I hope that he gets more reps. Winfrey did some good things. Man, I just hope they continue to grow. But I love the way that I saw him get off of the football. I love seeing some hustle. There was one time where I saw him get off the football in the goal line situation and then run down and then make a tackle. So He just has to continue to do those things, and hopefully it'll flash on film. I'll go back and watch the all 22 and see what he does. I definitely want to watch the interior and see how those guys performed. I have not watched the all 22 yet. I have not watched it yet, but I thought it was a good exercise. I was going to do a video on my top 5 takeaways and stuff like that, but we didn't get an opportunity to. I didn't get an opportunity to really do that because I want to watch the all 22, and we could talk about some things. But one thing is evident: a lot of the camp clips, we can't trust them all the way. It's not so much on the staffers and stuff and them providing us. It's more of a So it's like it's a good reference point, but people looking like they're dominating in practice and stuff like that, and then when we get to the game, it looks like we're a step slow. It just means that we got to be a little bit more competitive. We have to be able to simulate game situations a little bit better in practice, in my opinion. So hopefully next week we get more of the guys that are taking first team reps and stuff out there so we can really, get a continuity going there, Hopefully, Ty Church said that the interior was good, but the edges was bad. And I was hoping for more from Ezaraku. He was out there, but I didn't see him really doing too much. I didn't really see him doing too much. And another thing, too, when the running backs did get to the second level and stuff like that, they were churning for 2, 3, 4, 5 more yards. Like, we got to do a better job of tackling. I think Schotty talked about that. We definitely have to do a better job of tackling. Like I said, it just seemed like we weren't prepared for live action. Just seemed like we weren't prepared for live action there. And hopefully we can get better. David Lawrence says, I don't agree with Schotty holding this Bullets back. To me, I'd rather have a team know what we're doing, yet be more polished at it than be less polished, but surprise everyone. I agree. And again, that's something that has happened long before Schotty has been our head coach. That's something that's happened long before Schotty has been our head coach. And I think that that's something from upstairs. But I agree. I think that it's better to be executing and getting continuity with our guys that's going to play, even if it's just one series or something like that, than to just try and surprise everybody and just be smarter than everybody. We have not been smarter than everybody for 30 years. Yes, I'm going to put that on that because this has been something that's happened long before Schotty. These guys that are going to play, they need to get reps. There's no reason that Sanborn should not have played yesterday. There's no reason. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason that Murray shouldn't have played. Like, those guys are going to be a big part of what we do. And we still need to be able to figure out if we're going to play together well, if you get what I mean. Like, Tyler Booker should have played yesterday. Should have played. You know what I'm saying? The rookie should have played. T. Foster said, y'all tripping off of play calling. It's effing preseason. The boy couldn't make throws. So run the ball, bro. Run the ball. Wait, let me ask you a question, T. I'm going to put this up on the Summer Jam screen. What's wrong with running the ball if the young boy can't make throws? What's wrong with running the ball? There are times, so this is like, it is not to be so aggressive with combating this, but there are times that Dak sucks early in games. So we got to be able to say, you know what? Let's settle down and hand the ball off. This isn't just a Joe Milton thing. We got to be able to run the ball like we say we're going to run the ball. And we got 5 running backs vying for spots right now. So run the ball. I mean, it's that simple. All right, cool. He missing throws. Run the ball. You had to see 6 missed opportunities before you decide, and then go down 14-0 before we decide that, all right, like, run the ball. We were running the ball well when guys got opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So run the ball. That's what I'm saying. You saying we're tripping off a play calling? Nah. It's like, how much do you need to see? That, I saw that he was rattled a little early, But I need to see what Deuce can do. I need to see what Maffa can do. Run the ball. David Lawrence said Milton did actually. I'll tell you what, Milton actually settled in the second quarter when we started running the ball and we started doing play action and started doing some high percentage stuff. We just came out and dropped back and was throwing the damn ball out of gun. There was no rhyme or reason to what we were doing. We were just slinging the rock. And, you know, for me, I was just like, damn, like we ain't going to see how this offensive line, even though it's patched up, we're not going to see how this offensive line can get off the ball, because they did do that. You know, there were some shaky times that the O-line had, but they were able to push, and we were able to get some good runs out of there. So, like, you know, we got to be better with that. And he said that with the coaching too. He said we got to execute better as coaches too. But again, I'm going to point out his first time managing the game, calling plays. Clayton Adams' first time managing the game as an OC. You know, it's not Eberflus's first rodeo as a DC, but we had a lot of guys out. So, you know, they have to be better next time too. Coaching has to be better. Juan Cooper with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Stopping the run isn't simply a one tech problem. It's a hit and tackle attitude problem. It's about 1-2. Yes. Yeah. 1-2. 1-2 is definitely something. Yeah, buddy. 1-2. You got to want to do that. That's something that I said last night. You got to want to tackle. You got to want to stop the run. You got to want to not get moved. You got to want to not give up 2 to 3 extra yards when you do get the contact. You got to want to. Yeah. J Money. It's everyone on defense. It's an attitude, guys. It's an attitude. You got to want to do that. Yes. Yeah. Now we on one. Absolutely. That comes from everyone. That's an attitude. That's a swagger. It's a swagger. It's a swagger to stop the run, guys. Man, I don't know why they keep the NFL game streaming and all that type of stuff. Man, they cooking us right now. They cooking us right now. But it's all good. We gonna shoot them down every time. But yeah, hopefully next game we definitely do a better job of getting guys in there and seeing more continuity wise. But look, I just wanted to get on here real quick, talk to y'all. As we watched the press conference, I saw a lot of accountability there, and I do expect us to fix a lot of what's going on. So Vontae says, you think Mike is getting paid? Yeah, he's getting paid. He is, for sure. And they're gonna need him. And you know, I think that they're talking right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get a deal done quick. Last question before I go. Do you actually want to see Dak in preseason? Yeah, I do, even if it's just handing the ball off. Mahomes played, you know, Burrow played. So hey, if it's not above them, it's not above Dak. That's the way that I feel about it. Appreciate y'all, man. If you have not hit that like button, it's 116 people. Hit that like button for me so that people can see that we streamed here today. We talked some really good football. I'm excited about it. We had a great chat today, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all definitely made this worth actually being around and actually doing this, man. I actually, you know, getting this love. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all. And make sure that I know Rome probably going to do something. Tuck's probably going to do something. Mark Holmes definitely has his Sunday night calls and stuff like that. But I just wanted to make sure that I touch base with you guys. And you know how it goes, man. I'm gonna fall until I'm gonna go until the wheels fall off. All right. Appreciate y'all, man. And I'm gonna play the outro and we gone. Peace. And hit that like button on the way out. And hit the peace sign too. Hit the peace sign in the chat for your boy.
I can't feel the pain, I'm numb to all you say. Keep it real and stay one.
Also, theme song and outro, my boy KC Waters. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on all platforms.
Something missing from your face. So keep it real and stay 100 in your veins. Put me in these boxes, still I'm trying to break away. I just roll it up and down some liquor for my pain. Thoughts inside my head, it's nightmares instead of some dreams. I've been trying to hold on to everything from the seams. Try to get it by any means. There's no accepting defeat with all this pressure that's on me. Trusting whenever I breathe, cause everything is on me. If everybody is down, I gotta pick up all the pieces. Yeah, I can't fall, cause I do it for my daughter, so she can make it farther. Ain't worry about your comments, cause I believe in karma. No time for your bullshit or any petty drama.